Welcome to this discussion. We're going to talk about programming languages, and at some point in time, whether we're doing a web-based application, a mobile application, applications have to store data so we can keep information from one user session to the next. And a lot of times we'll do that in a database, and we could do it in a flat file and store it on the server's hard drive in the case of a web-based application, or we could store in your own workstation if it was a workstation-based application, like a Windows program, a word processor, for example. But if we're doing a database application, what are the programming languages that we can use to interact with the database? And given that essentially any program that we create at some point in time is probably going to have to deal with the database, you could almost say any programming language. And so I'd like you to lead the conversation by saying structured query language, SQL, because in most cases it's what we're using to interact with a database. And even if we write a C# application or Visual Basic.net or a Java application, we're going to, at some point in time, use a system library, runtime library to connect to the database and probably issue some type of SQL commands. And so we can abstract that when we do things like Entity Framework and .NET. But for the true purist, at the end of the day, we're still doing database operations probably in SQL, and so probably with any programming language. And so I'd like you to give a brief overview, just SQL and how we interact with it, and then pick some interesting programming languages that are in the news today. So obviously in the .NET world, C# is. In the Java world, Java's been one of the most popular programming languages now for the past decade. But we have other languages, scripting languages, such as Ruby or Python or Perl or PHP. And how do the way that they interact with a database maybe differ than a traditional programming language? And so I'm looking forward to your thoughts, and we'll see you in the discussion threads.